think so.
I am here with Trevor Rhodes, who is running for the position of mayor of Highland Falls. Good afternoon.
How you doing?
I'm good, thank you. Tell me about yourself, Trevor.
41. I'm a resident of Highland Falls for 41 years. I got a degree in sociology. I got a degree in funeral services. I'm a youth advocate for the Youth Advocate Program of Orange County. I work with kids.
I think people would recognize your parents' names.
Linwood and Linda.
Rhodes.
Yeah, Rhodes. My father was the first black chief of the village. My mom worked at the OGBY clinic up in West Point for 43 years.
Oh.
She's retired. He's now working at the funeral home that he owns.
And you went to O'Neill High School, correct?
Yes, I'm an alumni. Go Raiders.
Tell me why, Trevor, you're running for mayor.
Because I have a passion for this village. I want to see greatness for this village. And I've just been tired of the bickering in the village, and that caused a disarray for far too long. And I believe that there should be only one team, and that's Highland Falls as one.
You're not running with anyone, so I'm sure you're going into the position knowing you'll be working with people you didn't run with, you beat, whatever. Do you feel like you're somebody who can work with other people easily?
I'm glad you asked that. My goal is to be a team player. Like, it's not just a leader, it's a team player. And it doesn't matter which one win or don't win, I'm open to work with anyone. Because we all live here, and we all should be here for the same goal, is to make this village better.
And is it just the board that needs to do that, or do you need the help of the whole community?
I think it's the whole community, because the more you come together and work as one, you get more ideas and more opportunities to grow, because not one person knows everything. So the more you bring other people in that has knowledge to teach you and teach others, you can just blossom.
How do you bring those people in? How do you reach them? Days of social media, newspapers, village board meetings online. How do you reach the people? I guess just being around is a big part of it.
My thing is being more hands-on throughout the community and letting people see that you're genuine and you're not just, that you're there for the purpose of to speak for them and to actually make change.
It's a big job that requires quite a bit of time. That's something that you're willing to put forth?
As a resident, I would dedicate any free time plus some that I have to do my best if I was to win.
Talk to me about our strengths and our weaknesses. What do you see as some of the problems this community has right now?
The separation is the biggest problem, because when you're separate, you don't come together, and it's hard for anything to grow when it's being pulled apart. But the biggest strength that we do have is that there's still a lot of pride here, and people genuinely care about this village. So that makes me happy that there's still hope, that people did not give up and they still want better.
Has COVID, as you know, has had a big impact. I was talking with someone earlier. It's pulled us apart in a lot of ways physically, but it's brought us closer in a lot of ways. Do you see it that way?
Yes, it has. Yes, it has.
In some programs that we offer, what else can we do for our people to help them recover from COVID?
See, something like that, I would like to have a way for them to contact us, because we need to know what they're going through, what their situations are. If we don't know what their situations are, we can't help them. We can't come up with everything to think, oh, if. Like, people are actually living in the now. So we need to find out what they're going through in the now and see what we can do as a village to help them.
And how do we do that?
The village site, social media, the newspaper, getting more people involved to reach out to their neighbors if they know it's someone elderly who doesn't have the access to the computer or don't read the paper. Just more community involvement can help change a whole lot.
We spoke about your parents a minute ago. So you said your grandfather, your mother takes care of your grandfather.
Yes.
So she's an advocate for him. Other senior citizens probably need some of the same type of help.
That would be part of the plan that I will hope that if I was to win, that the trustees would be on board with that, as well as the community reaching out, because we, as the village, the mayor and the board, we don't know who needs the help and don't need the help. So if someone reaching out to us is saying, Miss such and such or Miss such and such at this address, they are alone, they need help, blah, blah. Now, as far as people coming out to volunteer to help with whatever needs, groceries or shoveling or raking leaves, it would be good to have like a buddy system for seniors.
Sure.
To help with their college or whatever, or just for them to come volunteer, to be a buddy to these seniors, to help them with whatever, and to be a voice for them to let us know, like, oh, they need a ride to the doctor, or they need such and such. And if we are able to help, we're actually hands-on.
Hands-on is important. Main Street, let's talk about Main Street for a minute. Main Street's struggling a bit. Do you have any ideas about how the village board could help fill some of those stores and help the businesses survive?
Once again, I would like to reach out to the village and get their ideas.
To the residents.
Into the residents and
And
get their ideas and their views on it. Because, like I said, we could come with whatever we want, but at the end of the day, whatever we plan, I want to put out to the people and see how they feel, because this is their tax money, this is their village, and I want them to be a part of actually moving forward.
So as the village board, you could plan to spend $100,000 to buy a new piece of machinery or something, but the people might want this $100,000 to be spent on programs. So you have to kind of judge there.
In that situation is what's needed more. And at the same time, don't push the other one to the side. Let's still work on trying to build towards getting that, rather than say, oh, we're just going to spend this on that and just push that aside. Just no, everything matters. If we needed that and we need that, we need to work on both. Yes.
Do you believe we have a good quality of life in Highland Falls?
I think we do. We just need a stronger foundation, because like you can't grow flowers on concrete. Like you need the good soil, you need the water, you know what I'm saying? You need all that to come together for everyone for this to grow.
Do you feel like you have good resources personally to help you as mayor, a good support system?
That's another good question. I do. For example, some stuff that I don't want to pick out certain things, but stuff in the town that could be fixed or done. There's plenty of people that I have talked to that are willing to volunteer, from construction workers to plumbers to engineers to architects. Like they have no problem coming out, but there's no foundation or structure for them to go to and sit with and actually make something happen.
Let's talk for a minute about one of the buzzwords that we always hear about in this community, consolidation. We have 2 police departments, we have 2 highway departments, we have 2 governments. Just your general feelings on, do we need all that? Is it time in the year 2021 to consolidate some of those services?
I think we should consolidate some of the services because they're catering to to Fort Montgomery and to Highland Falls. So what's the point of having two when they're both doing the same thing?
Do you
No,
consider
one thing is doing two things.
Do you consider it one community, Highland Falls and Fort Montgomery, or two communities?
To me, it's one, but I respect it as two. I grew up in Highland Falls, so Highland Falls and Fort Montgomery has always been one because from preschool, which my first preschool was in Fort Montgomery. And then when we moved to Highland Falls, the Fort Montgomery kids, so from preschool up to high school, we always been one, but they're still separate.
So it's important to keep the separate names, but as already proven with some things like recreation, some services.
Exactly. Like why split the pot when you could come together and have a much bigger pot? Or are you trying to, like before we were saying about the trucks or the programs, like why are you trying to pull strings here and there when you come together? It's the pulling the strings is done.
Right.
Because everything is in the same pot.
Fort Montgomery may already have that truck, so then Highland Falls wouldn't need to buy that truck.
Exactly.
So you could spend some money on other things.
You piggyback and help each other out on, like you said, as the truck, but it might be something else. But when you're sitting there, like, no, this is you and this is you, I'm not able to help you now. And then if I need help, then they're not able to help us, which to me,
We're too small not to work together.
yeah, exactly. It's like West Point. If you go to O'Neill, they are like your family. Those 4 years, the bonds that you build, so you don't separate West Point, even though they are separate. When you think of O'Neill, you think of Highland Falls, Fort Montgomery, West Point.
Talking about West Point, let's talk about tourism for a minute. Tourists come through our town and our village, and maybe not lately because of COVID, but spend their money here and move on, which takes us back to Main Street again. What kind of stores or things could we do to attract those tourists? They go in the gate and they don't come back out.
They don't come back out.
More restaurants? More gift shops?
More diverse restaurants. It's like the same thing. So something different would be nice. I do like that people have took chances to open up how many stores, even though it didn't last long, they still took the chance and it made our Main Street look less empty.
Yes.
So hopefully we can get more of those people to take chances again, and then when this COVID is over, they'll actually last for them. And it'll be something different for us.
Some of the other small towns along the river are doing better than us. I mean, if you look at stores and things, and Newburgh is kind of revitalizing. Do you think our time will come?
Yeah, because we aren't at the bottom, but it's like we could only go up. Like the schools are getting better, the community is getting stronger, even though it was divided for so long. It's like in time, there's going to be, the past is going to be gone, and we're all going to be up there, and our streets are going to be filled up. Hopefully, there's houses in the village to be filled up, less foreclosures, and be thriving like we was back in the 70s and 80s.
You don't have kids. Do you still think, though, this is a good place to raise a child?
I don't have kids, but I've helped raise many. And I plan to adopt or foster, or probably both. And they will live in Highland Falls and go to Highland Falls schools and graduate from O'Neill.
That's great.
Yeah.
That says a lot. A person who leads a community would need to raise their children in that community to show.
That just gives me the chills. Like, you're gonna help someone who don't have that support and love, and then bring them to a place like Highland Falls where they got a lot of eyes on them, because I know everyone, but on top of that, like, they can walk to the store, they can walk to the park, they can walk to their friend's house, they can ride their bike or skateboards or on any street without worrying about cars and it's heavy traffic. So it's like, and then they have the views off of any hill to see the mountains. It's like, you can't get no better.
It is a good place to raise a family.
And I was raised there.
If anyone wants to speak to you before the election, what's the best way to get hold of you?
I'm about to make something up on Facebook.
Okay. So would your
Social
name be
media,
in it?
yeah, I'm not too social media savvy, but I got people helping me out with
Okay.
that.
So look for your name on social media.
Yeah, it'll be open,
Okay.
so through all the friends, just pass to a friend. So whoever's interested, feel free to contact me, ask me anything, any idea you may have, or whatever. I'm open to it. Like I said, I'm all for the people. I'm here for change. I'm here for greatness. I just want everyone to be happy of the village and where they from and where they pay taxes at.
Thank you, I appreciate your time.
Thank you for doing this.